So today I'm going to show you how you can call up a customer from a lead, book them in for a physical in-person appointment the best way possible. When you should disqualify them, when you shouldn't disqualify them, all that sort of stuff. So this is specific to home improvement here. This is our ads funnel, and this is not necessarily relevant to this video, but this is a way of bringing new traffic into your funnel. And this is the system we use, which I go over in different videos, but that's there just for your information. Now, leads can come into your pipeline in many different ways. Could come in through advertising online using a partner like us, or as an inbound inquiry. But the main thing is that the inquiry comes to you at some point. Now, what I would strongly recommend, if you haven't got a CRM set up, which some of you may be surprised that I'm mentioning this, but so many people do not have CRM set up. And it is the most vital thing for your success in running a company and building a company. Sales is the most important thing. And if you don't have a pipeline or a CRM to track those sales, where deals are in the pipeline, you are missing out significantly. So first things first, the lead is webhooked into your CRM. Now that's very simple API integration that you can do there. You can get people on Fiverr to do that really easily. Set up the webhook from the CRM, won't cost you anything more than 20 quid to get that set up or whatever. But the CRMs that I would recommend is Close CRM. We use that Close CRM. Go High Level is really good as well. And HubSpot is one of the most popular. So from there, once you get the lead, you want to make sure that you call within 5 minutes. This is really important. And the reason why this is important is because you are 21 times more likely to convert a customer if you call within 5 minutes of them expressing interest. Now from here, they can either answer or not answer. And a lot of companies just give up at the first hurdle. But the top sales teams in the game have mapped out their sales nurture process so that if a lead doesn't answer the first time, they'll call again after 1 hour, then after 2 hours, then after 6 hours, then 24 hours later, then 24 hours later again. And while they're doing these calls, if they don't answer during the call, they'll send an email, they'll send an SMS. And all of these touch points are so crucial, because within the first 24 to 48 hours, there needs to be at least 8 to 10 touch points if they haven't answered the phone yet, to make sure that you're getting the most out of that lead. And let's say they do answer at some point, then now we're into the call script. So introduction, hello, it's name from company, how are you? Reason for the call is that you recently provided your info as you wanted more information about service. I am sales at TNW. Just giving you a call to give you that information. Now, just quickly before we get started, have you looked into the service in the past? Now, they might either say that they have looked into it or that they've not looked into it at this point. And if they say they haven't looked into it, then just use a really surprised tone. And it's really important that you use a surprised tone, because otherwise it could come across as confrontational. Oh, do you mind if I ask why not? And asking the do you mind is the sort of friction there. Then they're going to give you a reason. Now, if they have looked into the service, how far did you get into the process? How long ago was it? This is really important to understand as well, to understand the context around what they're saying. You want to understand curious tone. Do you mind if I ask why you didn't proceed any? And then they're going to give you a reason from there. I've accumulated a sort of list of the most common objections and reasons for people not wanting to go ahead with solar in the past, or potentially some reservations that they might have around solar in particular. This can be extrapolated into other home improvement niches, but I've used solar here as an example because I know a lot of my audience is solar. So the first one here is money. Now, this money objection is specifically talking about if they don't have the means. So there's a few different money objections, such as I don't see it making an ROI, etc., etc., etc. But for this one, the money objection means that they don't have the money. So first thing I'm going to say is fantastic. Just to confirm, at the time, did you think solar would have been a good investment for your home and you just didn't have the funds? Now, they're going to have an answer here. And from there, you say, do you still not have the funds to invest in solar? Usually no. And when you consider solar in the past, did you look at finance options? If yes, why didn't you proceed with those at this time? If they say that they didn't look at finance options in the past, then you can just say, talk about our finance options or whatnot. Wait for their response, and then basically, just explain why it's worth looking at our finance and why it's different from what they saw in the past. They're going to be paying for the energy anyway. They can potentially be cash flow positive from day one, all these sorts of things. Now, the next objection or reservation or reason is timing. So this is timing in the sense of it's bad timing, it's not the right time of year, something's going on so we can't get it installed right now, etc. What you want to understand from them is when you say timing, Is it more about budget right now, or is it the hassle of making the switch? Then mention the finance workaround, but not sure if they qualify yet, so they would have to do a survey, etc. If it's actually convenience and they just haven't had, the time or whatnot to look at it, or it's not being convenient to look at it, you can say something along, totally understand, most people worry it'll be a hassle. The good news is that we handle the whole process for you, so it's pretty hands off. With finance, you'll either break even on your bill or be saving straight away. After a few years, it's fully paid off, and then you own the system for 20 plus years of profit. Now the next objection might be the ROI. So this is usually when they've looked at an ROI in the past, or they have an idea around ROI and they don't think it's going to look good for them. So first thing you want to do is clarify when they've looked into it. So if it was a long time ago, you want to explain to them what's changed. So component cost gone down, install price gone down, efficiency gone up. And if it wasn't long ago, you want to explain why our return on investment is much better than competitors. So you want to talk about economies of scale buying power, local reliable installers, in-house team, no subby, and potentially if they didn't offer you alternative options and you do have them in your back pocket, then I would utilize those as well. And if you can explain it through using a story as well, then that's going to be even better. People buy stories sell at the end of the day. So if you can explain things using a story, then it's going to be much better. And then obviously the CTA is, can we pop by yours and show you? I'm sure that we can come up with something great for yourselves. And that's always the CA for any of these objections here. So the next one is viability. So there can be loads of reasons why they wouldn't be viable for your service, but you want to basically clarify, first of all, why they aren't viable. This is very important for all of the objections. You want to clarify the reason. So you want to ask more detail around their reason to get the full picture before addressing the concern properly. Viability, why do you not think you're viable? Very, very simple. And they might give you a range of different answers, but it's all very similar. And in your craft, you're gonna know exactly what's viable and what's not at the end of the day. So number one is roof angle, shade, and size. So my roof's too small, my roof is north facing, etc. You want to understand their reasoning, and if you think it is viable, then assure them that they would be very surprised and just sell the site survey. If it's an old roof, ask for more details. If you think it's viable, then sell the site survey. Don't sell the service, sell the site survey. Very, very simple. You just sell them a meeting, complimentary, to just show them if they're viable, because you're trying to help them save at the end of the day. Say for example, it's a flat, it's a listed building, then obviously if it's a flat, you can't install. But if it's a listed building, then understand what level of listed building it is. I think the lower grades of listed building, or the less severe grades of listed buildings, you actually can get solar installed. So that might just be a little bit of a perception shift for them. And if they're not home in for the day, when, say for example, they work a lot, they're not home during the day, then you can just explain the benefits of battery storage, which is what most people get installed anyway. So you can explain 99% of the people that we install on get battery storage anyway because of that exact reason. So you can just make them feel not alone. And moving property is the next one. So clarify when they think they're going to move. If they're definitely going to move within the next 5 years, I wouldn't push to have any services installed or anything like that, depending on the sort of service that you're installing, obviously. But if it's solar, then I wouldn't push to have it if it's done in the next 5 years. If it's maybe at some point in the next 10 years, which is sort of the language that they might use, then you can say something like this. The thing is, solar actually increases your property value. Buyers love lower bills and EPC upgrades. And even if you do move in the next 10 years, you would have made your money back and more. So absolutely fine. And then you can talk about finance or whatnot if you want to do that. Next one is busy. And busy means that they just haven't looked into it because they've been so busy. But it's not necessarily a bad thing because they've now inquired and they're looking into it. So it's actually quite a good reason for not looking into it. Totally get it, life's busy and solar's usually not at the top of the list. Thing is, every month you wait, the energy company is still taking X amount from you. What we typically do is pop round to give you a free assessment, show you the numbers. Then you'll actually know what the numbers look like. Are you up for that? That could be something that you look at. And then from there, the final objection that someone might be a little bit hesitant about solar is because of the free grants, and they want a free grant or something along those lines. And this is usually a big problem when it comes to installers, and installers usually let it close the sale and get thrown off by it. But it's actually quite easy if you get into it and just understand why they want a free grant and what their actual reservations are with it. So the way that I'd open it is I'd say, I get it, grants sound great if you can qualify. The thing is, they're usually quite limited to people on benefits or chronic health issues. With some of our alternative options, you're in control, you pick the system, often see savings or break even from day one, And once it's paid off, it's yours for 20 plus years of profit. Their response, so you let them respond, and from there you would say, we typically pop round to give you a free assessment, show you the numbers, and then you can actually see what the numbers look like. Are you up for that? So come back with your reason and then basically say, we typically pop round to give you a free assessment and show you the numbers. Then you actually can know what it looks like. Do you notice how throughout this whole conversation, you let them guide the conversation through your questioning? This is the main bit here where you come back with your responses, but it's not even really still about you. It's just talking about their concern. So it's making it about them. When you're having a conversation with this prospect on the phone, you want to make it all about them. You're in their world, you're benefiting them, and you're going to do really, really well. Follow this framework. Feel free to message me if you want me to send this framework to you. This is how we call customers on the phone. This is how we get them booked in for a face-to-face appointment. And it's just a balancing act of knowing what reasons why they don't think that they could have the service installed, and if they're actually real reasons compared to reasons that aren't actually legitimate reasons why they can't have the service installed. And if you overcome them, then they become a legitimate customer. A lot of this is mitigated anyway by the initial webhook into the CRM. If you get high quality leads, then you don't really need to worry about that. So if you want to get in touch about the high quality leads as well, then we're more than happy to share our process to that to see if, number one, you can start advertising for yourself, or you could use a third party like us to help you with that. Nevertheless, appreciate you guys watching this video, and let me know if you have any questions. Cheers.